Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Danielle and this is Danielle's Books. Thanks for stopping by. This is going to be my 24 books I want to read in 2024. I just got over being sick, so sorry if my voice sounds a little crazy, but I'm excited to come back and do this video. I did technically the 23 books in 2023 and I didn't do as good in I guess this year's version of this video, but I have high hopes for this one because my year shouldn't be the same as my 2023 was. Like, I shouldn't be having a baby in 2024, so hopefully that's the case and this video can go off smoothly and I can get to all 24 of these books. The way that I like to pick my books for this type of video is I like to choose backlist books and physical books off of my TBR. So I have a range of mystery, thriller, horror, extreme horror. I tried to choose some more shorter books in this year's version because I think that's what's kind of messed me up for 2023. So yeah, I'm excited to get into all these books. Before we get started, don't forget to subscribe to this channel because I would love to have you. And check out the description box down below because I'll probably have all of these books linked. And then I'll also have my Bookstagram down there, Goodreads, Storygraph. The podcast is coming back January 1st. I'm very excited about it. We already technically recorded that episode, so you can check that out. So follow the podcast over on like Spotify, Apple, all that good stuff. And let's just jump into these 24 books because that's a lot of books to talk about. First up, I'm going to talk about Psycho by Robert Bloch. I have not read this, obviously, and I know that this is a very popular classic, so you probably already know the story. Honestly, I might not be giving the synopsis for like all of these books because again, there's 24 books, but I'll try and give like the little blurbs or something if they have them. So this one is about Norman Bates. He loves his mother. The trouble is she's been dead for the past 20 years or so. People think Norman knows better, though. Ever since leaving the hospital, he has lived with mother in the old house up on the hill above the Bates Motel. One night, a beautiful woman checks into the motel, and Norman spies on her while she is undressing. Mother is watching him, though. She is there to protect Norman from his filthy thoughts. She's there to protect him with her butcher knife. So Zach, my husband, really liked this book, and again, I know that this is a very popular classic, so this is one I definitely want to get to this year, and I think that I definitely will because, spoiler alert, this might be on my January TBR. I'm not sure. I already planned out my January TBR, but I kind of already forgot what was on it, so you might be seeing this in that video. But there you have Psycho by Robert Bloch. Next up, I have another short one. I found a circus tent in the woods behind my house. So this one is again a short book. I got a ton of short horror / extreme horror books that I need to do a haul for. So that'll probably be coming in January because the next haul I do will be my, like, I guess what I got for Christmas or my Christmas book haul. So that should be maybe the next video that you see. But yeah, this one is definitely on my 24 books list because I really want to read it. And I also have a bunch of books that I want to read by Ben Farthing. So yeah, there you have I Found a Circus Tent in the Woods Behind My House. Next up, we have The Clown Hunt by Judith Sonnet. I read from Judith Sonnet for the first time this year, very recently actually. I read No One Rides for Free, and I enjoyed that one. This one is, in 2016, a mysterious prank overtook America. The streets and forests were overflowing with people dressed as killer clowns. It was harmless and fun, just a quick and cheap scare exasperated by the media. But an angry group has decided to put a stop to the national nonsense. They have abducted a group of clowns and have taken them deep into the woods. A male stripper, a gaggle of social media influencers, a party clown, and a few other innocents. Now they are chasing them, hunting them, trapping them, and torturing them. A simple death seems like a mercy. It's up to one clown to fight for his survival and maybe live to see another day. So there you have The Clown Hunt by Judith Sonnet. Another short horror book is Tastes Like Candy by Ivy Tholen, I think is how you say it. This is one I'm going to go into very blind. Also, there's not a great synopsis on the back of it anyway. This is kind of a cover, buy, and read. I think that this one is set at like a carnival. So this one, I wanted to try and choose some books that would be like seasonally appropriate throughout the year. So I think this one will be more of like a summer read. But yeah, I'm really excited about this one. I think it's like a slasher set at a carnival, but don't hold me to that. So there you have Tastes Like Candy. Next up, one that I'm probably going to read on the sooner end is This Is Where We Talk Things Out by Caitlin Marceau. This one I think is like kind of like a wintry read. And this one says a cross between Stephen King's Misery and Stephanie Robles' Darling Rose Gold. This Is Where We Talk Things Out explores familial trauma, mother-daughter relationships, and what happens when we don't or can't let go. I have heard very, very good things about this book, so I'm excited to get to it. Again, this is another short one. So there you have it. This Is Where We Talk Things Out by Caitlin Marceau. Next up, I have a couple more in like the short stack, and then we'll move to like a different set of books. I have Saving Noah by Lucinda Berry. I've heard that this is a very, very disturbing book, and I'm up for the challenge. I have never read anything by Lucinda Berry, so I'm excited to give her a try. And this one says, all it says is, we forgive murderers, not pedophiles. Again, I don't really know much about this one going into it. All I've heard is that it's very disturbing. So that's kind of the reason why I was actually gifted this by, I think, my friend Megan. Yes, my friend Megan. And then, so I want to get to it this year because I didn't get to it when she had gifted it to me. So there you have Saving Noah. Next up is a Zach recommendation, and that is Kin by Kaylin Patrick Burke. I also read my first Kaylin Patrick Burke book this year, I believe, and this one is another like dark, disturbing read, and I wanted Zach to choose a book for me, and I know that he really likes this one, and so this is definitely going to be on my list. Again, I think this is another summertime read, so look out for that probably around that time. But yeah, there you have Kin by Kaylin Patrick Burke. Next up, we have Night Bitch by Rachel Yoder. I think that this is the UK cover. How amazing is it, by the way? Anyway, this one says, one day the mother was a mother, but then one night she was quite suddenly something else. I think this is about like a woman who turns into a dog. I'm not like totally sure. I think that's like the basic pitch for it, but I really, really wanted to get to this one last year and I just didn't get to it. So yeah, this is definitely on my list and I can't wait to get to it. So there you have Night Bitch by Rachel Yoder. Oh my God, my hair is pissing me off. Okay, next stack. We have My Heart is a Chainsaw by Stephen Graham Jones. This is one I've wanted to get to, honestly, since it was released, but I just never did. And I don't know much about this one at all. Let's see here. This new novel by Stephen Graham Jones, called One of Our Most Talented Living Writers, explores the changing landscape of the West, through his distinctive voice of sharp humor and prophetic violence. Go up the mountain to Proof Rock. See if you've got what it takes. See if your heart, too, might be a chainsaw. That didn't give me too much, to be honest, but like I said, this is one I've wanted to read since it was released, so I'm excited about it, and I think the third one comes out this year, if I'm not mistaken, so I'd like to kind of catch up if I'm liking it. So there you have My Heart is a Chainsaw by Stephen Graham Jones. Next up is The Weight of Blood by Tiffany D. Jackson. This one is a Carrie retelling. I read Carrie a couple years ago, so I definitely knew that I wanted to pick this one up when it was released. I think this was also released a couple years ago. So I'm going into this one knowing that it's a Carrie retelling. I really enjoyed Carrie by Stephen King. It was my first Stephen King book that I read, and yeah, I'm excited to get to this one. So I definitely wanted to put this on this year's list. So there you have The Weight of Blood. Next up, we have a Darcy Coates. I read my first Darcy Coates this year, and that was Rookwood House, I believe. The Haunting of Rookwood House, I think. And it was just like a 3-star. It was like mid, so I wanted to give her another try, and Zach really, really liked this one. So this is The Carrow Haunt by Darcy Coates. It says, the dead are restless here, and by then it's too late to escape. So her big thing is like haunted house stories, and I really like a haunted house book. So, and then again, I told Zach to choose me one of her books because he's read a lot of them. So yes, I will be reading The Carrow Haunt by Darcy Coates, hopefully in 2024. And then next up, we have a book that's been on, I think, a couple TBRs, and I didn't get to it. And that is A House at the Bottom of the Lake by Josh Malerman. I've definitely read from Josh Malerman before. I've liked and disliked from him. So this is one that I am very excited to get to. I think it's about like a couple who, you know what, let me give you the little blurb. A haunting tale of love and mystery as the date of a lifetime becomes a maddening exploration of the depths of the heart. So I think it's like about this couple who finds a house at the bottom of a lake, and they're very curious about it, and I'm excited to see what comes of the house at the bottom of the lake. So there you go. That is on the list officially. Next up, we have We Spread by Ian Reid. I knew that I wanted to read this one, again, like I said, when it was released, because I have really, really loved from Ian Reid before, and that was I'm Thinking of Ending Things. And I know that this one is like a little bit more emotional. I've seen and heard online, so I want to get to this one. Let's see if there's a blurb for this one. At once compassionate and uncanny, and told in spare hypnotic prose. Ian Reid's genre-defying third novel explores questions of conformity, art, productivity, relationships, and what ultimately it means to grow old. I definitely think that this one could make me emotional, just like all the other girlies that it has. So I'm really excited to get to this one. And I think also this one might be on my January TBR. Again, I'm not sure, but this is one I want to get to as soon as possible. So you'll probably see this towards the beginning of the year. So there you have We Spread by Ian Reid. Next up, we have Cackle by Rachel Harrison. I've read 2 books from Rachel Harrison now. Really, really enjoyed them both. Black Sheep was a big win for me when I read it a couple months ago, or maybe even last month. And so I really want to get to more of her backlist. And Cackle is the next one up for me. This one will probably be a fall time read, though, if I'm being totally honest. This one says, from the author of The Return, which is the other book I read by her, a darkly funny, frightening novel about a young woman meeting a witch who might be too good to be true. Actually, you know what? This one could be a good one for Winterween, because it's also, our Winterween is witch themed. So, you know what? You might be seeing this in January, actually. I'm not totally sure about that. I didn't put that together that story was about a witch. Anyway, just trying to plan out my reads here. Next up, I have a Stephen King book. I put a couple Stephen King books on my last year's list, and I ended up getting to both of them. And this year, I'm putting Joyland by Stephen King. If you've been following me for a while, I've been very vocal about this one being one that I've been wanting to read, because it's set at a carnival, and I really, really like that backdrop for a book. So this is definitely one that I wanted to get to, and it'll probably be the next one up. So this one just simply says, life is not always a butcher's game. Sometimes the prizes are real. Sometimes they're precious. So that's all I got. This is set at a carnival in the summertime. So again, this will probably be a summer read for me, and I'm really excited about it. So There you have Joyland by Stephen King. I desperately need a drink of water right now, but I'm not stopping. So next up we have Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. I am definitely behind on getting to this book. This was very popular a few years ago and I wanted to read it then, but I don't know. It's just one that it's not, because it's a paperback, it's not on like my main thriller bookshelf. And so I don't really always think about it, but it's one that I definitely want to get to. Let's read the little blurb for this one. Dark Matter is a mind-bending thriller about choices, paths not taken, and how far we'll go to claim the lives we dream of. I think Blake Crouch's thing is like sci-fi in his thrillers. Not totally sure about that, but I think that's what I've heard, and this is one that I've had my eye on for a while, so I really want to get to this one. So there you have Dark Matter. We're getting there, peeps. We're almost there. Next up, we have My Lovely Wife by Samantha Downing. I have read and enjoyed from Samantha Downing before. I believe that this is her most popular book. I think it's about like a couple who enjoys killing people, or maybe it's just this wife who enjoys killing people. Again, not totally sure, but that is kind of how I'm going into it. It says Dexter meets Mr. and Mrs. Smith in this wildly compulsive debut thriller about a couple whose 15-year marriage has finally gotten too interesting. So I think I was right by what I said I thought it was about. So that plot sounds interesting to me, and I'm really excited to get to this one. So there you have My Lovely Wife. Next up, we have a few popular books that I have not gotten to. I'll just kind of do them all in a set here. We have Jar of Hearts by Jennifer Hillier. And again, I know that this is a very popular thriller that I just have not gotten to. It says, how far will someone go to bury her secrets and hide her grief? How long can you get away with a lie? How long can you live with it? This one is pretty short for a thriller, so that has me pretty excited, and it's one that I've had on my list for a while now. I even talked about it in like I did a video about like popular books I still need to read or something like that. I talked about that one in that video, and I'm planning to do a vlog in 2024 reading a whole bunch of popular books that I haven't gotten to. And this is another one that's on that list, and that is In My Dreams I Hold a Knife by Ashley Winstead. If you're new to this channel, maybe you don't know, but I really, really like Ashley Winstead's thrillers. I read The Last Housewife. That was my favorite book of 2022. This year I read Midnight is the Darkest Hour. I enjoyed that one. It's probably in like my top 20. It didn't quite make my top 10. And so I'm excited to see how I feel about this book. I think this is very like dark academia, and yeah, I'm just really stoked to read it. So there you have In My Dreams I Hold a Knife. This one will also be in that popular books video, like I said. All right, next up we have A Flicker in the Dark by Stacy Willingham. This was a very popular book in 2021, I think mainly 2022, because it just got released. Oh wait, no. This was released in December 2021, but I think it was a 2022 release. Whatever. This was very popular when it came out, and I didn't quite get to it during that time. It looks like I maybe started it because I had like the book. I don't remember starting it, but this one says, from debut author at that time comes a masterfully done lyrical thriller certain to be the launch of an amazing career. A Flicker in the Dark is eerily compelling to the very last page. I don't know anything about this book, and that didn't really help me figure out what this book was about. But I wanted to choose this one because I'm trying to get through more of my book of the month books, and like I said, I missed this one in its release year, so this is one I really want to get to. There you have A Flicker in the Dark. We are almost there. Next up, I have some more, I think, hidden gem books, or maybe hidden gems if I end up liking them. This is a book I've never heard a single soul talk about on the internet, but I have always been intrigued by this book just because I think the cover is gorgeous. I love the color purple, and so I've just always been drawn to this book, and that is Kill All Your Darlings by David Bell. But also, I think the plot of this is very interesting because I think it's very similar to the book The Plot by Jean Hanff Korelitz, something like that. I think it's about like someone who has like passed away or gone missing or something, and someone steals the like book that they're writing or something because they know that it's going to be a hit. I think that this is what this one is about after I read the synopsis. Yeah. When a student disappears and is presumed dead, her professor passes off her manuscript as his own, only to find out it implicates him in an unsolved murder in this new thriller. So I've, like I said, always been intrigued by this one, and I do think that this one is also on my January TBR. Again, that video will be out soon. So there you have Kill All Your Darlings by David Bell. Next up, we have 3 left, people. Next up, we have Rewind by Catherine Ryan Howard. I had put a couple of Catherine Ryan Howards on my 23 and 2023 list. Maybe only one, I'm not sure. I'm trying to get through her entire backlist. She is like my favorite, maybe, female thriller author. And I just have a couple more books to get through because I've really enjoyed all of her thrillers that I've read. And I think I've read 4 of them now, I think. And so this is another one that I need to get to. This one says, an explosive story about a twisted voyeur and a terrible crime. I like how the synopsis looks. Play, pause, rewind. I don't know anything about this book. Just like literally nothing. But like I said, I just have to read it because it's a Catherine Ryan Howard. And so I wanted to put another one on this year's list, and this was the next one to do it. So there you have Rewind by Catherine Ryan Howard. 2 books left. Next up, we have The Book of Cold Cases by Simone St. James. This is another Book of the Month book that I never got to in 2022. And so I really want to get to it. And this one, I'm assuming, is about a cold case. And that intrigues me in and of itself. It says, a true crime blogger gets more than she bargained for while interviewing the woman acquitted of 2 cold case slayings in this chilling new novel. So it seems like it's going to be very Simone St. James-esque, where you have a couple different timelines that you're dealing with. And yeah, this is one I was excited for when it was released. I just never got to it. So now is the time. So there you have The Book of Cold Cases by Simone St. James. Last book up, we have The One by John Marrs. So I think I put a John Marrs book on my 23 in 2023. It was probably The Passengers. Never got to that, but I'm going to try again and put The One on this year's list. This one is a word-of-mouth hit in the United Kingdom. The One is a fascinating novel that shows how even the simplest discoveries can have complicated sequences. So I think this is about like you finding like your perfect match, and then I'm assuming things go terribly wrong because this is a thriller. So I don't know much more beyond that. So there you have The One by John Marrs. And that completes my 24 books I want to read in 2024. Let me know some books that are a high priority for you in 2024. Also, I'll be posting a graphic of all these books over on Instagram. I'm planning to be way more active on Instagram in 2024. That's one of my huge goals. And actually, we're doing a whole podcast dedicated to our 2024 goals for like reading and just like bookish everything. So that I believe will be the January 1st episode. So yeah, look out for that over on Instagram if you want to see like all the books together, and I'll be kind of keeping track throughout the year over there about how I'm doing on this list. So yeah, again, let me know what books you want to read, high priority books for you in 2024. If you made it to the end of this video, what emoji should we choose? Let's see here. How about we do a knife, because I had a lot of slasher books on this 2024 list. So let's do a knife if you made it to the end of this video. And with that, don't forget to check out the description box down below, because that's where you'll find everything you need. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel, because I would really, really love to have you. I am getting close to 1,000 subscribers, and that's very exciting, and I'd love to hit it. So yeah, with that, I will just see you in the next video. Bye!